matches up with the algorithm.
This is R-rated
I
conservative.
mean, it's got to be
I'm the
some
next
kind of
caller on
convoluted
his
bullshit
show.
like that because it's nothing
Go follow
realistic or
him. He's
common
awesome.
sense that would even cause something like that.
Granted,
You
his
know what it
language is
is, right?
colorful. That's why R-rated conservative.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Go ahead.
It's straight up cock suction.
Bingo. Amen, my brother. There it is.
All right, man. I'm going to let you go so I can get ready.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. All right, that's my pal Pete the Patriot. He's a good friend of the show. He's a fellow creator
I'm about to go
himself. And
follow
like
Pete
I
the
said,
Patriot, too.
stick around on D-Live after the podcast because I'm going to host his channel so you guys can take a look at him. There's our next call. Flying through tonight. Awesome. Good evening. You are live on the air.
D-Live after the podcast because
Turn your radio down.
So you guys hang on a second. I guess there's a delay there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a delay.
Yep. How you doing?
All right, who we speaking to?
My name is Rachel. I'm Patriot Poet.
All right.
I have a YouTube channel too, Truth Matters, and I have been like completely shadow banned on my channel. Nobody comes on there.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's been that way since David Hogg, I think his name was. Remember the guy?
Yes.
The kid, yeah. Since I made some comments back then, I've been shadow banned. But I wanted to mention too, I got me and my boyfriend and our two moderators got completely banned off of Facebook. I mean, just obliterated one morning. We woke up and all of us were gone. Our pages, I've been running a page on there called Sheeple Dogs, Truth, Human Lives Matter for about since 2012, pre anything related to Trump. And I had a moderator running that and another moderator running something. We all woke up with our pages that we've had for 10 years or more just gone, just totally obliterated.
Well,
and I've been through like 6 TikTok accounts in the last month and a half.
Don't bother with TikTok. Get that out of your phone. Get it off your computer. That shit is some evil shit. Stay away from TikTok.
Well, I don't have it anymore. I gave up on it, but I had like 5,000 people on there. It seemed to be the only place I wasn't getting shadow banned. And then all of a sudden...
Because they found you.
Yeah, they found me.
That's what it is. The only reason why I haven't gotten tags on my videos yet, or I haven't been hit that hard, is because they haven't found me yet. But they will.
Yeah.
They're going to. Especially now, I'm going through a big growth spurt, so I'm sure there's going to be a few scumbags that are going to slip in, sub to the channel, watch it, and then just try to fuck with me any chance they get. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah. I've got trolls doing that to me right now. I had somebody make some comments on a couple of videos I posted in the last couple of days on my channel, and just random stupidity.
Oh, of course.
I mean, and you can tell that they're just completely brainwashed by that Mockingbird media BS.
Yep, and they don't want to hear otherwise, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can be in this bubble and have people throwing truth at you and truth at you and truth at you, and you don't even go to look it up. I mean, I look up their shit and I go, yeah, that's bullshit. But I mean, I look it up and I'll do research on it. Like Brzezinski, the one that's on the news on what is her, Mika?
Yeah, you know who her father is, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know who her daddy is?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
The Trilateral Commission guy.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's all the whole government media complex. It's so disgustingly incestuous and interwoven into itself that it's fucking. It's impossible now to know who to trust anymore because not only you have to find out who's bankrolling them, even if they don't have anybody that you know of bankrolling them, check their bloodlines.
Oh, yeah.
Their bloodlines tell us a lot. And most people don't realize that Bill Gates is very distantly related to the Queen of England. He's related to the House of Windsor.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, he is.
I mean,
I forget like how many times removed, but she's like a 13th cousin or something.
Well, I have to admit that my grandfather was second cousins with Nelson Rockefeller. But I don't have anything to do with that side of the family.
There you go.
I've never met any of them. I don't know anything about other than I did my family tree and found out. But I mean, my family has been here since the Mayflower.
Nice.
So, so I have like 13 or 14 that I've counted so far, people who fought in the Revolutionary War. I've got relatives. One of my relatives was like the first Supreme Court Justice, George Washington.
Nice.
Very
nice.
So
that's
got
cool. That's deep roots right there.
Yeah, I've got some good people in my history. I'll skip the line of the Rockefellers. They can be that family tree line that rots off.
Yeah, they're more like they're like the branch of a pot plant.
Yeah.
Because you got to be high to have anything to do with them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't want a thing to do with that side of the family. I don't want their money. I don't want their attention. I hope they never, come into my life in any manner of respect. Just stay over there. You're twisted. So,
Very.
yeah, but the corruption. I mean, it is deep. It is so deep.
Yep.
And I've been following it. I started out following the stuff in like 2008 when I campaigned for Ron Paul because I liked some of the things he said, and I was a libertarian, and I was just like, this guy is talking about smaller government and stuff. And I was like, I don't like this big government socialist BS that's going on. And I watched what they did to him. And then I started watching like where everybody was doing stuff to each other and backstabbing and lying and twisting things and spinning news, and it's insane. I mean, it truly is, and it goes deep and it goes historically way the heck back.
Mm.
But you were talking about the justices. They redid the areas where the Supreme Court justices are in control of, and take a look at who's got what district, because Barrett has one of the states that's being contested right now. And I mean, every one of the conservative judges is in control of one of these contested states.
Well, yeah, Trump knew what he was doing. He knew he was in for a war, and he put all his chess pieces in place. He's almost ready to play his hand. He hasn't done so yet. Everybody thinks this is it. This isn't it yet. He hasn't done it yet. He's not going to do it until the day he goes to court.
But he's got it. I could tell he has, and I can hear it when I can see what he's saying underlying what he says out loud.
Right.
You can tell if you're paying attention. He's kind of covertly cryptic about some of the stuff he's talking about, and most people wouldn't see it, but I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's all in the language. You need to. People need to pay attention to what these people say. They don't talk. What they say and what you hear, you cannot take in the literal sense. These people speak in codes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Their entire vocabulary is coded.
Exactly, it is, and that leads back to like Mockingbird media, Cold War era, propaganda stuff.
Right.
Because they work this whole thing into the news and the media and the schooling and everything. There's a good on my site, on my YouTube, I've got a video up that's a ex-KGB agent, a defector, and he's telling exactly how Marxist and communist and socialist country, takeovers occur. And he lays it out about how the schooling is the first thing they do. They warp a generation of children, and then when those children get into, adulthood, and they're
that's
in
when
college,
they activate them.
They activate them.
That's what they do. I know the plan. I've looked into this shit for years. Hitler did it in Germany. The Bolsheviks did it in Russia. It's been done a million times. Even recently, it was done in Venezuela. Castro did it in Cuba. Mao did it in China. It's and unfortunately, once it's in there, it's almost impossible to truly get rid of.
Yeah, and unless I don't know how you wipe them all out. That's my thing right now. I want to see it happen, but I just don't know how you would do it without looking like a complete, warfare zone.
Exactly. I mean, it can be done, but there is a heavy price to pay, and that heavy price is millions of lives.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. It's like the old saying: you vote your way into socialism and communism, but you have to shoot your way out. And
Yep.
it's true every single time. And they have all the power, the money, and the artillery. The first thing they do is take your guns away so you can't fight back. And
But they did it. They did it to my, my mom's side of the family's Jewish. We're from New York originally. I live in South Carolina now, but my mom's side of the family's Jewish, and she's got relatives that survived the Holocaust. And I remember as a child meeting them and them telling me horror stories.
right.
I mean, just we didn't know what was coming. We had no idea. We were, brainwashed basically. Nobody, everybody just said, "Oh, well, move over here, or do this, or do that," or and they were passive, and they weren't expecting that.
It's because they were through the whole process they were deceived and coerced.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had guards standing behind you with guns saying, "Get in that room right now." They was like, "No, come in here for disinfection," and that's when they gas you.
Yep.
That's how it was done, and that's how they're still trying to do it. The worst enemy you could possibly have, the one guy you need to watch out for more than anybody else, is the guy with that big fucking smile on his face that's extending that hand of friendship. You always need to watch out for that guy, because what's the catch? People have forgotten how to ask, what's the catch?
I agree with you on that one, definitely. 'Cause there's always a catch.
Amen. There always is.
They're always trying to get you some way or another. I mean, and even in the simplest things, the medical field, for instance. Here, take this medicine, take that medicine, take this. I can't say I'm an anti-vaxxer when it comes down to things like tried and true polio. My mom had polio. If she had polio vaccines before she got it when she was a kid, she wouldn't have had a life with having to deal with the ramifications of polio.
Right.
And I understand that, but you read the things, you read the actual information on stuff, and it's horrible what it's got in it. And it's the same thing with these drugs. Every drug comes on the TV. It's always so-and-so will do wonderful things for this problem, and then they got a minute and a half of and blah 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 and this and that and another thing, all these
exactly.
side effects and
side
garbage.
Effects may include suicidal and homicidal thoughts, anal leakage, headaches, dizziness.
And if you happen to be, have a problem with heart, problems or this or that, well, some people don't know they've got that, and they get these medicines, and the doctor doesn't catch whatever the heck it was they had previously, and then they wind up in worse shape than they were when they first took the darn thing.
And you know what they do after that? It's like, oh, you have this condition. Oh, well, here's a drug you can take to fix that, and now more money's being made by the pharmaceuticals. Listen, they don't treat. That's what it is. They don't cure anymore. They treat. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
And I do mostly herbal, vitamin, nutritional stuff, and I've been doing that for most of my life. I think I've visited a regular doctor maybe in the last 30 years since I've been an adult, and I left home at 16, but I mean since I've been an adult and doing my own thing, maybe 4 times, maybe.
I hate doctors. I always have.
I hate it. Yeah, I can't stand them. I don't like to deal with them, and I had an issue. I'll tell you, then I'll tell you this, and I'll let somebody else get on and talk for a little while. But I got hit by a relative of my boyfriend's who was kind of doing some drugs that were a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And it wound up causing me to have a stroke in my right eye and blind me. Okay, so I'm legally blind. I'm actually on disability.
Damn.
But when I went into the eye doctor to have it looked at, they said, "Oh, you've got glaucoma." Well, I had contact lenses in since I was 16. I had taken the one out in the eye that had the issue, and the day before my eye appointment, I took the other one out. Well, every time I take my contacts out, my eyes get super irritated and would swell up and have issues because of the air and the cigarette smoke and the cooking oils and whatever else I run into, allergens of any kind. So the first doctor gave me steroids to put my eyes, and then he sent me to someone else to go to the following day. Well, when I went to her, she was one of those totalitarian doctors, and she was like, "You've got this, you've got that, you have to go this, you have to do that." You know, your life is going to end, basically. I mean, it's just, I didn't like her.
Yeah,
Right off the
one of
rip.
those self-important bitches that thinks her shit
Yeah.
don't stink. I know. I've had a bunch of those doctors in my life.
And she shoved on me like 3 different medications for glaucoma and insisted I put them in my left eye as well as my right eye. Well, and she dilated my eyes, and the other doctor had dilated my eyes. And the following day, she sent me to MUSC Hospital, which is in Charleston, and to their Storm Eye Center, which is supposed to be like the superior place in South Carolina to go to for any ocular, stuff.
Yeah.
And I went there, and they ran me through like 6 different tests with multiple different types of eye drops and dilations and da 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 da, and they gave me more medicine. So I'm taking like 4 kinds of eye drops. Okay, I had no vision issues in my left eye at that point, none. I mean, other than like distance where I needed my contact lenses. I've been like that since I was a kid. Well, about 2 or 3 months down the road, I started losing normal vision in my left eye after taking these medicines.
Yep, they did that to
And so I went, when I was getting my disability, I had to go to the doctor for them. They sent me to a optometrist close to where I live. And he said, I'm not even going to dilate your eyes because I could cause more damage to your eyes. I said, really? He says, yeah, every time you dilate your eyes when you have issues going on, it's really bad for you. And I thought to myself, I had my eyes dilated 3 times in 3 days from these doctors. They didn't
wonderful
talk to
medical professionals, folks.
Yeah. They didn't talk to each other. They didn't, cross-reference anything, and they all loaded me with all sorts of... Now, steroids will make your eyes... The first doctor gave me steroids, and he read my eye pressure, and my eye pressure was just minorly over what it was supposed to be in my good eye. What I call my good eye now is not so good. But it was just a couple points over. Well, steroids will make your eye pressure go up by 5 to 15 points. So by the time the next day rolled around and I got to the next doctor, it was like 20 points over. So,
Yeah, listen, I've been saying it since day one. The medical industry is nothing more than that. It's an industry. It's not a practice. It's not a science. It's a racket is all it is.
Yep.
And you're living proof of it right here because they intentionally try to sabotage your eye to force you in to receive their treatments. Because that's
Yep.
what doctors do. It's just like even nowadays, modern mechanics, most modern mechanics that work at dealerships and like Jiffy Lube and all of them places like that, they're not really real mechanics. All they are just guys that change parts. That's all they are. It's kind of become the same thing. Like even our medical system has been dumbed down because we rely too much on drugs and technology to do everything for us. A real doctor is now an endangered species because you don't deal with doctors. You deal with healthcare providers and medical professionals. Very few people
Right.
still even use the term doctor anymore.
Oh, I agree with you there, and that's the thing too. Then when you want to go to a doctor that actually like thinks about nutrition and so on, they don't take insurance, they don't take Medicaid, they don't take Medicare, they don't take any kind of, anything.
Unfortunately, there's a reason for that. It's because they're not having to be, they're not being mandated by all of these people's protocols and regulations on how to treat their patients.
Yeah. Which I agree with, but I really think that insurance should cover any kind of professional doctor who's got a degree, whether they decide to do holistic doctoring or pharmaceutical.
And right there, my dear, is where you're looking in the right direction. That is the question to be asking. Why don't those insurance companies pick up those doctors without forcing them to have to treat their patients a very specific way following this very convoluted fucking procedure that does nothing more than just further damage the people you're supposed to be saving. But on that note, I'm actually going to let you go because I got another call coming in.
All right. Well, check out my my page, Truth Matters, and Patriot Poet. Come read some of my poetry.
All right, I will do that.
All right. You have a great night, and thank you for taking my call.
You too. Thanks for calling.
All right, bye.
All right, that was another call right here. I'm waiting for one more call to come in because I see that one of our regular viewers. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna call him.
Anyway,
There we go.
I
This will blow his mind a little bit.
figured I'd share that, and that's R-rated conservative. So go and check out his page. I'll put a link down below as to where to find his page when I upload this. Alright, y'all, have a good night.